crazy in our actual lives. Snoop, get down. You can't jump up, pet. You cannot jump up. Come round here. Come on. Come see me. Come see me. There. You're alright. You're okay. You coming up here? No. Okay. It's been one hell of a week. Hey guys, I'm Kirsten and you're watching Kirsten Megan's Book to Reality. This is basically my progress report for this week. I'll be talking you through my reading of the book, my research, what descriptions that I would like to take forward, and research and reference and design. But this video will be talking you through the book. Snoop, enough! Talking you through the book, talking you through my research, my references, a couple of like little rough sketches just to get us going. So without further ado, let's go! So we start with reading, of course. Reading and research, which in our case is almost completely based on what the book has to say. And as you can see, I have post-it notes marking the location of each chapter. Each post-it note has a note of what significant information and details can be found within each chapter, and using highlighters, it makes it a lot easier for me to find those significant descriptions. Okay, so notes. My messy notes. With the notes and information taken directly from the book, I can then start to build clear descriptive structures of each detail. I then create titles for specific quotes. So for example, Fierce Cottage, I would list all the quotes that refer to that. Lucien's Dagger, all the quotes refer to that. Tamlin's Mask, you get the gist. And listing those gives me a clearer idea of what I'm looking to find once I begin looking for reference photos. It also gives me a better idea of which things I would like to focus on most. With that, I have decided to focus on Fierce Cottage, which I'll primarily be working on, but I would also really like to look into the Springport Masks, Lucien's Dagger, and also the Ash Arrows. And then we come to referencing. Okay, so what you're currently seeing is my reference search for the Springport Masks, beginning with Lucien's. Lucien's mask is described as bronze and is fashioned after a fox's features. I looked at existing masks similar to a fox. I also looked at bronze as a material and varying degrees of weathering to see if this could complement the fox aesthetic. I looked for images to help me get a clearer picture of how Tamlin's mask would look. Tamlin's mask is described as being an exquisite golden mask embedded with emeralds shaped like whorls of leaves, which also only exposes his eyes, strong jaw and mouth. There are only two types of help masks described, one being a bird mask for the help around the manor and the other being a mask fashioned after a horse's face. I looked at not only existing masks with these specific features but also images of various bird species and horse facial structures. So once I have collected a decent load of images to reference from, I compile them into Illustrator, resize them and then put them into groups. For example, the full cottage images, window images, door images and small detail images such as the iron handle. This allows me to combine these groups onto a page together, which will make later grouping a lot easier. Each of these pages will be printed and then stuck into my sketchbook so that I have physical copies and so that I can annotate them and highlight the main features that drew me to each of these images. Don't feel like you're missing something if there's images you don't end up using. You might also notice that a few of the images are rather small and therefore losing their purpose as like feature finders, but I promise there is a purpose for this. So the next point is annotating. I like to use this first lot of reference images to essentially tell a story. I choose the ones that link to one another, I annotate what features I can take from them and how they will all combine together to create a full concept idea. I go from environment to full exterior to specific exterior points to very minuscule details that may not seem important but could easily make or break the design if it differs from what the book has to say. At this point in time, I am specifically detailing the cottage, which is described as being dilapidated. It's made of stone, it's dark, It has shuttered windows with gaps. It has a pathway which Fair trudges up, so that says to me that it's probably quite mucky. It has a stone door frame. It has a wooden door, but only one door. It has faded markings and whorls around the windows and door frame. It has a frozen iron handle. It's isolated and it's surrounded by woods. It is also later described by Tamlin as being a hovel, so those reference photos really have to target those different descriptions. Once I have annotated thoroughly and select a specific few images that stand out most to me in terms of like meeting the descriptions, I then go back into Illustrator and upscale those few to reprint as larger, clearer images, like I said before about some of them being really small. This allows me to see each specific detail more clearly and spread them out more within my sketchbook, allowing me to begin sketching very rough, quick designs which reference to both quotes and relatable reference images. Personally, I always begin with the basic shape of the design. Once I find an overall shape that I've drawn which I believe does the description the most justice, I can then start to imagine how the smaller details will take shape and form. Again, it's a personal preference, but one I find incredibly helpful. I also prefer to draw in 2-point perspective, which if anyone's interested in knowing about, I can do a small tutorial on that, so please just comment below and let me know your thoughts on that. And as you can see, I know that these specific drawings that I'm doing look very structured and they look very clean and it's straight lines and they look pretty basic, but as I said, I prefer to look at shape before I do anything else, because the shape becomes the bottom layer and then you can start to build on top of that, whether it's weathering, whether it's a material, specific features, specific designs for those features, and so on. So by the end of basically this, I'll have a full design concept based on these really rough, quick, clean sketches. So that's all I got done at this point due to having a really tough week, but I'll be back again in a couple of weeks and Megan's next video will be out next Sunday, so please stay tuned for that. Okay guys, so that's us for this week. As mentioned, Megan and I will be doing a Sunday each, so next Sunday be sure to catch Megan with her next stages in her process for book to reality. I can never just say book to reality, I've got to always go book to reality. Why is that? Why can I not go be sure to catch her in her next stages for book to reality? You know, I mean, to be fair, I need to work my voice. Anyway, yeah, so be sure to catch her next week. And then I'll be the Sunday afterwards. We might get little videos in between just for little updates on what's happening, but we'll see how that goes. Just with everything that's going on, it's tough at the moment. Other than that, I'd like to apologise for the change in schedule. I realised that a few people were quite looking forward to having my video on Thursday, and then obviously it was changed to Friday, which never happened, and then I said yesterday and that has never happened because Megan and I decided that it would be better if we just did like a Sunday each, and that gives us 2 weeks just in case anything else does come up. So I do apologise for that, and I also apologise for the fact that this whole first half of the video was out of focus. I didn't know it was out of focus and it was just extremely rushed, and I just, you know, I was under pressure and it was horrible. I apologise for that. Hopefully this is in focus. If it's not, I'm still really sorry. I'll get better. My camera doesn't seem to do automatic focus when it's on video. I don't know what's up with it. Anyway, what else am I trying to tell you? So I am currently, where am I? I am currently on chapter 23, so I'm about 210 pages in. I haven't picked it up since Wednesday, maybe even Tuesday, I can't remember. Wednesday was when Snoop hurt herself. She's doing fine, she's on the mend, so hopefully that'll pass itself and she won't need an operation, which would be wonderful. I'd also just like to thank you guys for, again, sticking by us and being here and
being around and doing this with us and sticking with us, even though, you know, it's been kind of up in the air since the get-go. But we're getting there. And a special thanks to Megan, just because she's been absolutely amazing and really understanding, and she sent me a little care package yesterday and it was really lovely. So thanks so much, Megan. I'll just hold this up for you. So as you can see, this is kind of what I got up to. These are the drawings I got done. As I said, I like to stick with shape. My next steps are to continue with shape, but to start to build in kind of specific features. So like this one has quite a caved in roof, you know, it's dilapidated, so it might have that kind of feature. Figure out where, like, how the door is going to go on, if it's going to be rickety, you know, where all the stone weathering is going to be, that kind of thing, and that'll come from all of these images. So that's kind of my next steps there. Things I would like to work on are probably not having so much chaos in my life. That would be really nice. But also working on how my voice sounds. I feel like I sound really dull, really boring, like I could send someone to sleep, and not in a good way, like in a oh my god please shut up way. I think the video looked really good. I think the sped up progress of what I was doing was really fun and interesting, but unfortunately I didn't have the quirky upbeat voice to go with it. I think a lot of what I was trying to say got kind of overlooked and missed just because my voice it's not story worthy, but we'll work on that. So I think that's it. I'll just continue to read Court of Thorns and Roses, and we'll move on to the next ones when I'm done. Again, the new book, A Court of Silver Flames, comes out on the 16th of February, so I really want to get through these before I start reading that, and I think the 2 weeks will help with that. So with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!